Lapu, able to jump in, can actually do the same situation that we saw with Athamas, where you can go 2v1, especially if you get an early lead. So far, solid draft from the Valley here.
Absolutely. I think solid drafts from both sides. They have some clear strategies, and I love the fact that the Indonesian fans have adopted the Brazilians here on home turf. This is going to be a beautiful game.
Still RRQ, right? So we're going to see the same 5 that we mentioned earlier going head-to-head with the Valley, with way more mobility in their arsenal. They do have a lot of peel, and as well as they are going to be able to maneuver around the CC heavy of RRQ Akira.
It's going to be tough here. I'm not sure. There's a lot of questions that need to be answered, but there's only one way to define it. It's through battle. Welcome, everybody. It's RRQ Akira going up against the Valley in this best of one. Good luck to both teams.
Oh, this is getting so exciting. I mean, right now we can already see that Luis opening up the map, trying to give some vision, trying to figure out MLBB Zane's pathing, because everyone talks about the Valley, and they always say that MLBB Zane is one of the main pillars of their team.
Yeah, I think, we even talked about this in Keys to Victory, right? A lot of this comes down to these two junglers here. And King being on the Joy jungle, I want to see how it plays out, right? If we're going to have our answer at some point here, Gideon.
Absolutely. We want to see that highlight reel. Oh, no.
That's already going to be the first blood drawn here by Takashi. That was a great Mystic Field.
That was an interesting movement coming in from Takashi, because there was, again, he's clearing up the wave against Fried Chicken. Did he also get the gold crab? He gets the kill, gets the gold crab. He's winning on all fronts for himself, all because of an individualistic play.
And I'm quite surprised, right? Because the way that the Valley drafted, the mid lane is so strong on those rotations, because RRQ BR, because they brought in Xavier, they are going to have to wait for that level 4 to hit in order to maximize the potential damage. But even then, RRQ Akira, they've actually managed to get a point above the Valley at this point.
Notice the movements across the map here. Again, Joy and Benedetta just cutting off the waves, making sure that Fried Chicken is just going to be stranded by himself, knowing that the turtle is going to be spawning 20 seconds on the bottom side of the map. The Valley understand this, putting their pressure on that top side to maybe draw them away.
Yeah, I think this is smart moves by both teams, the way they're answering it, but still going to lead into that first turtle of the game. It's going to be up here in just a couple seconds. But you see them both. I mean, the question is, how does RRQ Akira play around with Takashi's lead that he has? Knowing that this first turtle comes up, it could be anyone's ball game, especially the Petrify's there. You've got the Electro Final Blow, and you're going to see them battle out for it already as both teams juggle it around. This turtle dance, Luis going to charge up the flicker in, not going to connect though. Still the fight goes on. It's going to be red treat away by King. The King of the Jungle stands for now as they secure the first turtle, but he's going to get focused down. It's Fried Chicken to take out King.
So, I mean, at this point, it is a 1-for-1 trade. Takashi is going to be able to get out of that situation alive, but King for a turtle. What do you think about this here, Gideon?
King for a turtle, honestly, it's not the best in the world. Obviously, you would like to be able to survive and get the turtle at the same time. And especially when your teammate Takashi actually getting an amazing stun engagement onto the Valley, catching 4 people in that. Just no real way to capitalize on it, because again, their early game heroes is literally just Takashi, and maybe even you can make an argument for Gusta Lagusta at this point, but Sagan needs to scale up. King needs more farm, and Gusta Lagusta, just keep him in place. He's eventually going to carry at 2 items.
Yeah, I feel like right now, RRQ Akira, they really are playing into the tempo that the Valley wants to create for them. You can see them already once again with the better rotations. They're much faster. They're looking to secure and maybe pressure those side lanes, and that's exactly what they're doing. Basic is also farming really comfortably at this point.
Oh, they're going to put pressure here on the purple buff. RRQ Akira are going to do their best to just try to secure it, but King going to go ahead and use those beats to get out just in time. Should be able to secure it, but still, MLBB Zane going to park himself here. The battle for the purple buff. Luis going to charge up, gets him right on target. It's MLBB Zane going to be in trouble. Colt Alter plus the guiding win. There's a flicker from Hoon as well, all for the purple buff.
Oh no, that's so unfortunate. Sagan actually had a great opportunity to punish, but wasn't able to actually open up the gates there to lock him down, giving that moment, that small little moment for MLBB Zane to get on out of here. But now Takeshi is actually struggling against Fried Chicken. Now that Fried Chicken has all of his combat abilities ready, especially that ultimate, the all-ins could be devastating if he doesn't have his eye for an eye.
6 seconds left on the next turtle to spawn, and you can see RRQ Akira trying to set up first. we do see that Super Shark already on the way, already opening up vision. They don't want to give that early game lead that they've already attained for themselves over to the Brazilian representatives, but here we go.
They're going to start it up, looking for it. Like the final blow did come out. Who's going to secure it? It's King, but Mobazane going in as well with the guiding wind and circling eagle combination. King falls again for the turtle.
Ooh.
It's another trade though. Everybody low on the valley
Shark.
as one after another fall. Luis to get the double. Hoon and Fly Chicken the backside. Not going to be enough though, as another member's going to fall here. Fly Chicken only to stand.
Man, 3-for-2 trade here, Gideon. What the heck?
Yeah, beautifully played by RRQ. I mean, everything you could have imagined worked out for RRQ. The Valley were looking for an engagement. Did they have to go for it? I think they could have just backed away. The turtle was already gone. But we'll pull up the replay just in case you guys missed the action, and we'll break it down from there. Because number one, the position that we see from the Valley wasn't as good compared to RRQ. And more importantly, once the abilities start running on through, Takashi has already found his kill. Louise and as well as Sagan still alive, being able to overwhelm and out-damage, isolating the right targets once Mobazane fell.
I mean, Luis is on point so far with these Nuno Blast, really finding the right targets, especially around, I mean, objectively, right? The Valley's going to want to contest those, but they've got to keep a constant eye on Luis, and Takashi being 3-0-1 on this Benedetta too is going to cause havoc as the game goes on. Look how confident he is. He's cutting that deep into the wave, right? I mean, it is pretty much happening on both sides, but still, the upper hand is for Takashi.
That's the beauty of the Benedetta, I guess, and we're going to take a little sneak into the emblems, but before we get into that, here's Super Shark getting a little chunked in terms of that health, but I think maybe King wants to go for something here.
I think they're still going to put pressure here. Under the turret they go. Ooh. Everybody joining the fight on the top side. Electro final blow, the Petrify. Takashi able to get the double. Can't get Hoon. Mobazane a little bit too late to the party. Gets the taunt off though, with Hoon picking up the kill. But look at the backside. It's Fly Chicken. Finds one for himself. But ultimately now Takashi going to be caught in a position of a 1 versus 3. Does he still commit to it? He bobs, he weaves. Mobazane still sticking to him. Takashi should be able to survive.
A 2-for-2 trade overall. A really good setup dive for the side of RRQ. And I think RRQ Akira had a really good idea. They should have cut their losses as soon as King was out of position. Back away. You don't need to give anything else, but the Valley's taking one step forward, getting and buying time for Fly Chicken to jump right into the middle of that fight to even out the score.
And now we're going to see once again the setup for the next turtle, but I saw that Gusa Lagusa already had the golden staff as well as basic now, but remember that is going to be the key item for Gusa Lagusa as once again they're going in for an engage.
They pull the trigger on Saiyan, they push him back here. They get the turret though, Dawning Light's going to come out. Turtle still work on. Gusa Lagusa though, able to grab a kill for himself, but they do trade the turtle. Nothing too much after that.
Fly Chicken is playing so boldly, running right into the middle of that, knowing that the Golden Staff is already completed, taking a good chunk of damage from the Blazing Duet, and yet he still almost picked off a free kill for himself.
1,300 gold in their hands of RRQ Akira right now. I mean, at this point, I want to know, has the Valley been playing into Akira's tempo right now? But oh, wait a minute. Gusta Lagusta needs to be careful here.
Yeah, there's 3. Actually, Luis here to help him out, so this might just be a disengage. Luis, though, just there to help Gusta Lagusta out. It's going to be a poke battle back and forth. The rest of the team still in the vicinity, but nothing going to come in out of that just yet. As you were saying, Eterna.
Yeah, I just want to know what's happening here. How did RRQ actually pick up the lead? I mean, earlier on, the Valley seemed to have the tempo. They seemed to be confident with what they were doing. Are they playing a little too aggressively into RRQ Brazil?
Well, I think it comes down to the draft, right? When we're looking at Benedetta specifically, her relevance and her power, her strength in the earlier stages of game 3, level 4 is already pretty good. Unfortunately for Fly Chicken, that's not the same for Lapu Lapu. He only feels relevant as soon as he hits level 4 and starts participating in these fights with the bravest warrior. So the fact that Takashi has already enabled RRQ Akira to get this lead is already great, because that was the toughest part. Now they just need Gusta Lagusta and Sagan to scale up and eventually outscale the Valley. Basic on this carry, yes, he can hyper farm and scale as high as he can, but if he can't get in range, it's still a tough game.
Yeah, I think that's the downside of a carry, right? The range. The range is a big factor here. So you really got to be careful on how your positioning is, right? Now, the Valley at this point, almost 10 minutes in, they don't have a turret just yet. So they got to be careful on especially losing map control. They already got the Cult Altar out. So that's massive before the next Lord comes. Actually, it's already spawned. So if RRQ wants to go for it, they have a perfect time.
They can
Brilliant.
They can literally start pulling away, allow the Valley to actually move because they've got priority on both bot and top side.
Yeah, they're going to be bobbing and weaving here. The Lord still being worked on, half health so far. Mobazane, though, he is going to be just taking the front of this damage. They're going to go on for Super Shark. Sniped down with the Dawning Light. Gusta Lagusta going in. What a petrify from Takashi. Able to find a basic, the perfect target needed. He's going to get cut off, but Luis with a kill for himself. 3 down for the Valley. And they're still going. What a Mystic Field with King for the cleanup. And now it's a Mobazane left alive. And that's going to be the wipe out for the Valley. What a massive play for RRQ Akira.
That was insane. The way that they played that team fight was so beautiful, so textbook. And that's going to give RRQ Akira a massive lead. And not to mention this free Lord.
I get it now. I get it why you were saying it was like a mini Blacklist International. A lot of their macro play is centralized around one objective, one thing at a time, but covering all of your bases, making it very difficult for the Valley to keep up, even if they're just slightly behind in tempo, which is rather frustrating because RRQ at this stage of the game are breaking apart the Valley just by looking for these strong engages, and especially keeping your eyes on Sagan. His Mystic Fields have been on point.
From start to here. I mean, that's what got them the first blood, right? And this all snowballs Takashi, but they're still going to be focusing here on the bottom side. Fly Chicken and Mobazane to be the front. They've got the Lord to handle the mid lane eventually, but they might get sandwiched in here for that tier 2. Look at the backside. Takashi goes in, forces them back, and just like that, they're going to lose more space on the map.
The front to back, the peel, the damage coming in from that backline from Sagan. You can feel it, and it makes sense looking at the items that he already obtained earlier, but once again, onto the mid lane.
Here comes the assault. Lord's got to be handled here. They should be able to clear it up as they hold on to both inhibitor turrets, but still, do they press the issue here? Another Mystic Field. The Dawning Lights have all been on point, like you mentioned.
They're just slowly cutting them down, and especially when you have Lord and Power minions, you want to take as much advantage as possible. This is only the very first Lord, so if they get an inhibitor, it's already a big win, and there we go! It's cracked wide open.
They're gonna crack it open here. Luis goes in, another Dawning Light. For now, though, it's only that mid turret. You can still see the rest of the Valley. We're gonna clear these lanes here. They don't want to lose any more. They're trying to hold on with their dear lives 12 minutes into the game.
They need a way to get to the back line of RRQ Akira. I mean, the damage output coming in from Sagan with the Clock of Destiny and the Lightning Truncheon alone is already dealing that much damage here, Gideon.
It's tough. It's really tough because if we're thinking about who's going to be playing in the backline to anchor and hunker down for the team, it's definitely going to be Sagan. Oh, no.
Oh, all for the purple buff again. They're going to force Zane back.
Okay.
No one there to help him out.
All right. The Valley make a very intelligent decision. Just back away. There's no need to fight right now. 50 seconds away from the Lord, 12 minutes into the game. Your biggest objective is going to be that Lord. But yes, as I was saying, Sagan is going to be the anchor of that backline. You would expect someone like Gusta Lagusta to go in and out of fights. Luis wants to stay in the middle, but then you have Takashi and King. They're allowed to go crazy. And I think that's what's really difficult to get on top of them because you have to go through multiple layers. And even if you gap close, there's a good amount of CC to keep you in place.
So what do they do? I mean, at this point, I was like thinking about it, taking a little pause there. How is the Valley gonna enter that backline? Because in theory, with the draft that they had, they do have Super Shark, Big Brother Shark on the Matilda here to dive into the backline with her ultimate, obviously, and bring someone with her as well.
Well, the easiest way that they could possibly do this is to get Fried Chicken specifically on Sagan. But wait, a fight's about to break out here.
They force Mobazane back, right? But He's going to be able to heal back up here. Still the battle for this Lord. It looks like everybody from each team is going to make their way here for this fight. Meanwhile, Takashi still trying to clear that wave a little bit. Put pressure here. Dawning Light going to be committed. Now Takashi goes in with a Petrify, able to find Hoon, gets the Cult Altar out. Lord whittled down, secured by Gusta Lagusta. And RRQ Akira looking still for a moment if they can. A guiding wind to come out. Still, Basic could get cut off here. The flicker, perfect spot timing. King finds Basic as he falls, and it's just disaster for the Valley. Hoon trying to saving grace, but he can't. 3 down. 2 in the base here. Fly Chicken finally able to get King out, but it might be too late.
Might be too late. Oh my god, that was brilliant by Akira. Luis found that perfect moment, and now they're gonna crack into the base. Only Hoon, only Moment Zane is left.
This is gonna be dire for the Valley. They're trying their best here, but RRQ Akira gonna be taking a game in match against the Valley.
The Brazilian representatives come out on top, bringing down the Valley just a notch here with such an exquisite gameplay.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Shout out to you, Cabral. You've done a great job with this team so far. But man, oh man, they already knew what they had to do. They had the foresight. I'm going to get into it a little bit later on. But once again, bask in the glory as RRQ Akira have taken a game off of the Valley.
Man, I don't know if it was the marching band buff or the drum buff here, but that was quite the game from RRQ Akira here. And yeah, there might have been a saving grace there for the Valley if the game could have been drug on, but still, even with the tools they had, like